fantastic little tale here on page 50. So these three sages are eating together. Maimar, Marzutra, and Ravashi. They're eating bread together, and the wait staff brings dates and pomegranates before them. So Marzutra takes some of the fruit and throws some before Ravashi. Ravashi says, "What? Doesn't the master hold with that which was taught in the Baraisa? One may not throw foods." And Marzutra says, "No, that was taught with regard to bread." And Ravashi challenges and says, "Wasn't it taught in a Baraisa just as one may not throw bread, so too one may not throw other foods?" And Marzutra says, "Then wasn't the opposite taught in another Baraisa? Although one may not throw bread, he may throw other foods? Rather, it's not difficult. This one, he says, one may not throw other foods, refers to food that becomes disgusting when thrown. And that one says one may throw foods other than bread, refers to items that do not become disgusting when thrown." And so Marzutra clearly feels like, look, you throw a date or a pomegranate to your buddy, it's not going to ruin the food by throwing it to you. Okay, cool story. Fantastic note here in the Steinsaltz. They've got this personality section on the side. Marzutra. Okay, here we go. A colleague of Ravashi, Marzutra was one of the leading sages of his generation. He was a disciple colleague of his teachers, Rav Papa and Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Okay, cool. Beyond his greatness in halacha and agada, Marzutra was known as a preacher, and his Talmudic interpretation was cited throughout the Talmud. Yep, he apparently held an official position as the scholar and preacher of the House of the Exarch. Later in his life, he was appointed head of the yeshiva of Pompadito. Meetings between Marzutra and Maimar and Rav Ashi are frequently mentioned in the Talmud, and some of these meetings may well have been formal conferences of the leaders of Babylonian Jewry of that generation. End quote. So it's not just like a bunch of mates meeting for some food. This is high tea amongst like the great scholars of the day, and he's throwing food around, and it seems to be to make a point. And I wonder how much of this sort of thing is to make a point. Like there'll be a perfectly ordinary social event happening somewhere in the Talmud, and like someone will get up to some sort of shenanigans, and you just like look, then it'll come up with like some great back and forth with someone standing there who seems to be scandalized, and I think like. It's tempting to say, I suspect that a lot of this stuff is they're just doing it for that reaction. They're doing it because like, I think I have a point here. So it's like he does it, and then someone challenges him on it, and then he gets to expound the law a bit. Could be a lot worse. Many brachos.